This is the top of the world, the Arctic Circle. It spends 3 months every year in complete daylight and 3 months every year in complete darkness. It is the least populated region in the Northern Hemisphere. Yet, it is home to territories from 8 countries, the 5 Nordic nations, Finland, Sweden, Norway, Iceland, Denmark, along with Russia, the US, and Canada. The far north has always been surrounded by mystery, the endless days and nights, the bone-chilling cold, the strange white animals with tusks and antlers that seem otherworldly, and the eerie green and purple lights that haunt the sky, spectacles that have mesmerized humanity since time immemorial. But what if I told you that as the planet warms, the mystery of the North is melting away, and something new has emerged? Something so important and critical that every major superpower is rushing here to claim a piece. Russia is building more dockyards to serve its Arctic fleet. Denmark and Sweden are buying maritime patrol aircraft and strengthening their Arctic defense systems. Finland and Norway are planning new railways and roads to Arctic ports while training their troops like crazy. Iceland, despite having no military forces, has declared the need to have skin in the game when it comes to Arctic defense and security. Canada launched its Arctic foreign policy in late 2024, investing in icebreakers and northern infrastructure. The US is sending teams of researchers to the North Pole with plans to annex Canada and purchase Greenland. All these developments raise some interesting questions. Beyond the obvious retreat of ice and the opening of new shipping routes, what opportunities do these superpowers see that are driving them to take such bold steps, even risking diplomatic conflict, to gain an advantage? What does this race mean for the local communities? And seriously, what's hiding under the Arctic Circle? Filming for this project will begin in mid-December when the last sun of the year sets, and will end 3 months later when the first sun rises. Yes, this project will be filmed entirely in darkness, hence the codename Night Nations. We will start our journey in Russia, crossing into the Nordic countries, Greenland, Canada, and finally concluding our expedition in Alaska. We will explore the region's history, its myths, and the daily lives of the people living in the true north. We will visit abandoned towns, forgotten railways, and newly established infrastructure. A major focus of this project will be energy, robotics, the race for artificial intelligence, and why coldness is becoming both a treasure and a hidden engine for a new age. Through the lens of the Arctic Circle, I invite everyone to consider this question. In a world rapidly reshaped by climate change, what happens when nature's barriers, the oceans, deserts, and ice caps, collapse, turning into highways for empires? This project will take at least 3 to 6 months to film and produce, and will be one of my most challenging and expensive projects yet. This is India, the most populous and the 7th largest country in the world. With a land area of 3.3 million square kilometers and a population of 1.45 billion, it stands as a global giant. This is China, the 2nd most populous and 3rd largest country on Earth. Spanning 9.6 million square kilometers and with a population of 1.41 billion, it also stands as a global giant. Together, these two countries make up 35% of the world's population and occupy 8.5% of the planet's total land area. And they are neighbors. When two giants sit side by side, tension is inevitable. It's simple physics, and India and China are no exception. Since their founding in 1947 and 1949, tensions between the two have been escalating. Just go to Google Maps and take a long, hard look at the border between India and China. You will notice something peculiar. There's no solid border, just dashed lines, except for this segment between Nepal and Bhutan, where a 220 kilometers border has actually been settled. But why is that? Why is there no border between India and China? Why is this bit so special that the border was actually agreed upon? Also, what about those dashed lines between China and Bhutan or India and Nepal? What's the story behind them? And don't even get me started on the huge mess in Kashmir. I mean, seriously, why is the highest and emptiest region on Earth so full of disputed territories? To answer these questions, we first need to understand a lesser-known geographical concept, the third pole. Yes, in addition to the North and South poles, there is another pole in the world, the Hindu-Kush-Karakoram Himalayan system, the highest region on Earth. Unlike the two deadly poles at the top and bottom of the planet, this third pole quite literally feeds billions of people. It stores more frozen water than anywhere else in the world, second only to the polar regions, and spans 5 countries: China, India, Pakistan, Nepal, and Bhutan. In this project, we will journey to the third pole, exploring these countries, hiking through the rock mountains, and if possible, visiting the disputed territories ourselves. We will study the rich culture of High Asia, explore the Tibetan Sphere, and examine its place between the Sinosphere and Indosphere. We will live among the highland communities, listen to their stories, discuss the borders drawn by the British, and witness the ongoing rivalries between India and China, India and Pakistan, as well as regional conflicts between China and Bhutan and India and Nepal. This journey will touch on many sensitive and controversial topics, but I believe they should be solely discussed and understood. Finally, through the lens of the third pole, I hope to answer this critical question: what happens when two Asian civilizations, each proud, populous, and rising, collide without a shared understanding of where one ends and the other begins? The production will take 3 to 6 months with 3 episodes, and it's going to be a difficult and expensive project to make. This is the line that separates East Asia from Southeast Asia. Above this line lie Yunnan Province and the Guangxi Zhuang Autonomous Region, the two most racially diverse regions in China. Yunnan is home to over 15 million ethnic minorities, with half of its administrative divisions designated as autonomous prefectures. Guangxi, an autonomous region for the Zhuang people, is home to over 19 million ethnic minorities. Below this line are 3 Southeast Asian countries that all have a convoluted past with China: Vietnam, Myanmar, and Laos. These countries represent the most populous, the largest, and the heart of mainland Southeast Asia. Given their proximity, it's no surprise that these 5 regions share much in terms of ethnicity, language, and traditions. However, if you travel along this line, you will find that the dominant culture is neither traditional Vietnamese, Myanmarese, Laotian, nor Chinese, but Thai culture. You might be thinking, wait a second, I know where Thailand is. It's not even close to that line between Southeast Asia and East Asia. I get how it might have spilled over into Myanmar and Laos, but how did Thai culture reach China and Vietnam? Well, here's the thing. When I say Thai, I don't mean Thai, T-H-A-I, as in Thailand. Instead, I mean Thai, T-A-I, in a much broader sense. Other than the T-H-A-I Thai in Thailand, T-A-I Thai also includes the Dai and Zhuang peoples in China, the Dai, Thai, Nung peoples in Vietnam, the Lao people in Laos, and the Shan people in Myanmar. Beyond these larger groups, there are many smaller Thai groups across these 4 countries as well. It's a massive cultural sphere that includes 100 million people. The Thai peoples share similar languages, beliefs, and festivals, which raises several questions. When did this line at the crossroads of 4 countries emerge? What did it mean to the people living here? And why does Thai culture have such a strong influence along this line? In this project, we will travel to Yunnan, Guangxi, Vietnam, Laos, and Myanmar, exploring the formation of this mountainous border between East Asia and Southeast Asia, and the blood spilled over it. We will talk about the migration and integration of the Thai peoples and the dramas between East Asians and Southeast Asians. We will live among the locals, seek out the mountain clans in the jungle, and listen to their stories. We will look for traces of the French and British colonial past and the descendants of the lost royals who once ruled across this line. We will discuss the Chinese Civil War, Myanmar Civil War, the Vietnam War, the bombing of Laos, and how these wars gave birth to gray zones like the Golden Triangle, infamous for drug trading, human trafficking, smuggling, and scam centers. Ultimately, through the Thai peoples and this mysterious corridor, I'd like to find the answer to this question. What happens when civilizations meet not in harmony, but at contested frontiers? where wars, diasporas, and refugees reshape the meaning of belonging. The production of this project will take 3 to 6 months with 3 episodes, and it will be both difficult and costly to make. After studying the border between East Asia and Southeast Asia, we move south to mainland Southeast Asia, the second largest peninsula in the world. This peninsula has been known by many names, such as Chin India, Further India, the peninsula beyond the Ganges, etc. While it is now more commonly referred to as mainland Southeast Asia, centuries ago, during the period of French and British rule, they simply called it Indochina, literally the land between India and China. It has a land area of 2.07 million square kilometers, is home to 270 million people, and is made up of 6 countries: Vietnam, Myanmar, Laos, Thailand, Cambodia, and Malaysia. At first glance, the borders between these countries might seem unremarkable, just like any other borders. But in reality, the uniqueness of the borders on this peninsula cannot be found anywhere else. While it's true that these borders were largely drawn by Europeans in the 19th and 20th century, the situation here differs from the colonization of the Americas, Africa, and India, which began in the 15th and 16th centuries. The Europeans didn't fully colonize mainland Southeast Asia until the late 19th century, with Thailand successfully avoiding colonization. Prior to European arrival, this region was home to many kingdoms with thousands of years of history. And the problem is that the people's memory of those old borders is still fresh, and they look nothing like the ones drawn by the Europeans. The difference between the old and new border has been the source of many regional wars, some of which continue to this day. But how exactly were the old borders drawn? How exactly were the new borders drawn? And more importantly, what are the differences between these two versions that made the borders here so fragile? For this project, we will travel to all 6 countries and explore the peninsula from the Chinese border to the Singaporean border, from the shores of the Indian Ocean to the shores of the South China Sea. We will study the dramas of mainland Southeast Asia in detail and understand how everyone here has parts of territories in everyone else. We will explore not only each country's unification story, but also Vietnam's colonization of Cambodia, Vietnam's domination of Laos, Thailand's invasions of Cambodia, Thailand's annexation of Western Laos, Myanmar's many conquests of Thailand, Malaysia's border conflicts with Thailand, and the many disputes in the Gulf of Thailand. We will examine both the ancient and modern borders and see how these lines cut through civilizations, leaving a patchwork where neighbors overlap in language, ethnicity, and culture, making the borders zones of entanglement rather than separation. Through the lens of mainland Southeast Asia, we attempt to answer this question. When borders divide people with shared culture and faith, can they ever accept being ruled by the other? The production of this series will take 6 to 12 months with 4 episodes. It won't be too expensive to produce, but the conflict in Myanmar will certainly increase the difficulty level. What we are looking at is maritime Southeast Asia, the largest archipelago on Earth, home to 408 million people and 6 countries: Singapore, Malaysia, Brunei, Timor-Leste, the Philippines, and Indonesia. The region controls some of the world's most critical sea lanes, with 25% of global trade and much of East Asia's oil passing through its waters. Situated between the Indian and Pacific Oceans, no sea route on Earth is busier, and frankly, no region is more diverse. Here you can find Islamic mosques next to Hindu temples, Spanish Catholicism blended with animist rituals, and Malay proverbs with Arabic and Chinese loanwords written in Sanskrit, all in one village. It is home to some of the oldest and largest Hindu and Buddhist temples in the world. The region has over 270 million Muslims, more than the entire Middle East combined. It also has 142 million Christians, making it the region with the largest Christian population in Asia. It is home to the world's largest Chinese community outside China, with 15 to 17 million ethnic Chinese calling MSEA home. Nearly 4 million ethnic Indians have been born and raised here, contributing to one of the largest Indian diasporas globally. The region was colonized by every major European superpower: Portugal, Spain, the Netherlands, the UK, and more. Some powers ruled for decades, while others ruled for centuries. Even today, hundreds of millions of people in the region still use European names, and English is widely spoken. Afterward, the region fell under Japanese rule, witnessed some of the bloodiest and longest battles in human history, and became the last battleground of World War II. Some Japanese soldiers were still fighting the war almost 3 decades after Japan surrendered. Looking at MSCA is like observing a layered cocktail. Each culture represents its own unique layer. They don't quite mix, but they also don't disappear. In fact, MSCA may be the only region in the world that, despite being influenced by every major global civilization, has managed to retain its native traditions. This makes it the most layered region on Earth. But how is this possible? How did diversity, a concept that is now causing chaos in many parts of the world, become the foundation of a civilization here? For this project, we will visit all 6 countries and uncover the secrets of maritime Southeast Asia. We will explore the diverse communities in the region, understand their origins, their roles, and how they've preserved their identities across generations. We will analyze the rivalry between European powers and their strategies for coexistence. A significant portion of the project will focus on the region's geography and geology, shedding light on how MSCA's unique position has fostered multiculturalism in a way that is impossible elsewhere, and how this layered culture could position MSCA as a global center of gravity in the 21st century. Finally, through the maritime Southeast Asia, I'd like to invite everyone to reflect on this question. Can humanity truly coexist in diversity without one culture erasing the others? The production will take 6 to 12 months with a total of 4 episodes. It will be both difficult and expensive to make.